Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and today I'm going to be doing a versus video between two of my favorite shoes right now. You know, the Curry 8 and the Puma Clyde All Pro. These are both incredible performers in my opinion. So the Curry 8 is going for 160 bucks, quite expensive. The Puma Clyde All Pro is a lot cheaper. It's 130 bucks, so $30 price difference. If you guys want to cop either of these shoes, I'll leave a link in the description box, but let's get it started off with the Tracciones. So the Pumas have pretty much like a checkered pattern here in the forefoot and a pivot point here where the ball of your foot is. The overall durability is okay. I wouldn't say it's the best, but the occasional outdoor use should be good. The stop was really good. It was very consistent. Didn't really have to worry about like slipping out or anything. The Curry 8 on the other hand is just god tier. This traction is insane. It stops literally like instantly. It doesn't slide out like at all, you know, so that's a good thing. A lot of you guys have been telling me it doesn't really pick up any dust either, and the durability is actually good. Even I would say it's better than the Puma Clyde All Pro, which has a rubber outsole, which you know, I don't know what Under Armour did with this, but it's awesome. So the Curry 8, like not a whole lot of shoes are gonna beat the Curry 8 in traction. So the Curry 8 is just better. Puma Clyde All Pro is still really good for traction. All right, as far as the heel to toe transition goes, so here in the heel, I would say the Curry 8 feels a little bit better. As you guys can see, it protrudes out a little bit and it comes up a lot. So you have this really nice curved shape here. For the Pumas, you still have a nice little curved shape, but it's not as drastic as a Curry 8. But the Pumas in the forefoot though, look at that. Look at this shape. It's really nice. So once you put a little bit of weight here in the forefoot, it just kind of propels you forward. It reminds me of the LeBron 16. So this feels really nice as well. Here in the Curry 8, you still have a nice curved shape. It feels great, but it's just not as curved as the Pumas. And then for forefoot flex, both of these shoes have really nice forefoot flexes. So overall, I would say it all depends. If you want that smoother feeling here in the heel, the Curry 8's a little bit better. If you want that really nice curved shape in the forefoot, the Puma is a little bit better, but they're both really nice when you're like running down the court. All right, as far as the cushion goes, so for the cushion, the Curry 8 feels a little bit softer, right? Especially here in the heel, but the Puma Clyde All Pro still feels pretty nice. But for impact protection, I would say the Curry 8's a little bit better. Like, I don't know what it is here in the Pumas, but like when I did a hard heel strike, I can definitely feel my foot kind of like compressing the cushion and also kind of like compressing it to the point where I feel the ground, you know what I'm saying? So for hard impacts, the Curry 8 is better. As for court feel, they're both really good, but the Curry 8 is just a little bit lower to the ground. And in the forefoot, you don't really feel the cushion at all in the forefoot, so they're both pretty stiff. So I would say overall, the Curry 8 cushion is just a little bit better. All right, moving on to the materials. So the material here in the Curry 8, they're using a full-on knit for the entire upper. Here where the tongue's supposed to be, you have a stretchy knit, as well as here in the collar, you have a stretchy knit. You can just pull it out and it's super easy shoe to slip on. The material is really thin. It feels soft and cozy. And the Curry 8 has a really minimal material, but if you want an even more minimal and more thin material, the Puma Clyde All Pro just takes it to another level. It's like paper thin. It's crazy because like the Curry 8 feels really thin, right? But then like you put on the Pumas and you're like, yo, this material is just, it feels paper thin. And it's really nice if you want a very minimal feeling upper, but it's not like cozy at all. You know, basically throughout this entire upper, especially here in the toe box. So if you want like the kind of like cozier material, then go with the Curry 8. As far as the tongue goes, obviously the Curry 8 is a one booty upper, so there's no tongue. But here in the Pumas, we got a nice plush tongue with a good amount of padding. And then here in the ankle area, you have a good amount of padding here in the Pumas, as well as here in the Curry 8. So that feels nice. So I wouldn't say one material is better than the other. They're both really nice. But if you want the thinner and really minimal material, go with the Pumas. And then the Curry 8, it's still a really minimal material, but it feels a little bit cozier and a little bit softer. So if you want that, and also with the stretchy collar, I'll go with the Curry 8. I guess personally, for me, I would say I like the Curry 8 a little bit better. All right, moving on to the fit. So go true to size for the Puma Clyde All Pro, and then go up half a size for the Curry 8. They run short. And then after you do that, they both fit really well for me. Here in the toe box, they're both really snug. It's not to the point where it's uncomfortable and like I'm getting needles in my feet, but it's the right amount of snug for me personally. Width-wise, I would say the Puma Clyde All Pro feels a little bit more snug width-wise, even though the Curry 8 is still slightly narrow. And like I mentioned before, for putting on the shoe, the Curry 8 is really easy. You know, you put it on in just literally one motion, you take it off in one motion. The Puma Clyde All Pro, obviously you have a tongue, so it's a little bit like, or it's not as convenient, you know, so it's just a little minor thing there. As far as the support and lockdown goes, I would say that's one thing that the Puma Clyde All Pro does better. Like, I didn't have any issues with the Curry 8. You know, as you guys can see, there is a lateral counter with the synthetic piece, but this material is just so soft that my foot was moving around just a little bit, you know, inside the shoe while I was doing like lateral movements. And I feel like if you're a little bit bigger, you might feel that a little bit more. But for the Puma Clyde All Pro, my foot was locked in. It didn't feel like my foot was moving around at all. So it feels a little bit better in the Puma Clyde All Pro. As far as lateral stability goes, the Curry 8 definitely feels a little bit more stable, right? So if you guys look, the Curry 8 is a good amount wider. As you guys can see, it's a wider base, and you're a little bit lower to the ground, so it just feels a little bit more stable. And obviously for like ankle stability, if you have problems with your ankles, the Curry 8 is probably the better option. All right, moving on to the weight. I think the Curry 8 is going to be a little bit lighter, right? Yeah, so 10.8 ounces, and then the Puma Clyde All Pro is 11.89 ounces, so it's an ounce lighter for the Curry 8. Probably has something to do with the rubber outsole. You know, as you guys know, the Curry 8 does not have an outsole, so that's probably the main reason why the Curry 8 is an ounce lighter. Does it feel lighter? Not really. You know, I feel like they both feel very minimal for me personally, especially the material here in the Puma Clyde All Pro. And also the Curry 8, like it doesn't feel bulky, but it feels a little bit bulkier than the Puma Clyde All Pro because, you know, as you guys can see, the cushion's protruding out a good amount here in the heel, as well as like in the forefoot a little bit. So just comparing it to the Puma Clyde All Pro, the Curry 8 feels a little bit bulkier. So even though the Curry 8 is a full ounce lighter, the Puma Clyde All Pro feels a little bit more minimal on foot. All right, as far as ventilation goes, I would say the Curry 8 is a little bit better. You know, the Puma Clyde All Pro wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good because the material is just so thin. It soaks up that moisture and it keeps your foot pretty cool. But for the Curry 8, you got, you know, ventilation holes. So it allows for a little bit more airflow, and that's what makes the Curry 8 a little bit better for ventilation. Aesthetically, I would say I like the Puma Clyde All Pro a little bit better, even though I like the Curry 8. And some of the colorways of the Curry 8 are really sick. But the overall silhouette, in my opinion, I feel like the Puma Clyde All Pro looks a little bit better. So tell us what you guys think looks better down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, both of these are bangers, and you cannot go wrong with either of these shoes. You know, if you whichever shoe you pick, you're going to get an amazing performer. So like, I feel like the main differentiating factor is how expensive the Curry 8 is, right? So the Curry 8 is $30 more than the Puma Clyde All Pro. So if that is an issue for you, then just get the Pumas. This is an amazing performer, right? But if you don't care about money, I would say just go with the Curry 8, guys. You know, the Curry 8, the traction is just super nice. The cushion is a little bit better than the Puma Clyde All Pro as well, in my opinion. Materials are a little bit nicer as far as quality goes, and it feels a little bit more cozy. And it's just like, I love this stretchy ankle collar. Just like the ease of putting it on, taking off is super nice. So you just get like just a little bit better performance from the Curry 8, in my opinion. But I guess one thing though is that if you are a little bit bigger and you do a lot of lateral movements and you need like that lateral support, go with the Pumas as well. But again, like I said, whichever shoe you pick, you're gonna get a banger, you know? So anyways, that about wraps up this versus video. Again, if you guys want to cop either of these shoes, I'll leave links below, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.